I'm being good right now. I'm being good.
Kenny's just
I'm
being
glad.
quiet right now.
I'm glad James decided to show his face. It is what it is, buddy.
And why?
You said you would stand in the heat. Now we're gonna see tonight.
Well, we are going to talk about the Super Bowl a little later. Cody thinks my dress isn't professional. It's probably about $300 worth of shit here. I just want to go ahead and point that out. But next time I will be more professional. I promise. I will do better, Cody. All right, Chris. How much did Auburn pay those refs last night? They should be fired for that garbage that happened.
Hey, Chris. At least
Cody
my
said,
team's.
to HR.
At least
You
my
know
team's.
what, Cody? I suggest you go to that guy. I think he's going to side with me. If I were a betting man, I would think HR is going to side with my part of this, but who knows? So the refs took out Alabama, is what Chris is saying. Kenny, is that
I,
true?
I mean, okay. So let's discuss it since he wanted to bring it up before we get to college basketball. There was 85, 80, 85, 89, 90 something free throws between both teams last night. There was a bunch of fouls. They were calling for bumping with a thing. So it is what it is. Auburn just shoots better free throws than Alabama. Ben said that. The problem with Chris is he's got to pick on somebody else's team because his team ain't been relevant since my great great grandmother. So I don't even want to hear his mouth. So at the end of the day, that's the only thing he's got to do is to make fun of somebody else's team. I'm perfectly fine with that because he can't make fun of his team no more because it's just useless.
It's just useless. Well, Cody says Bama was trash. You weren't winning in the jungle. Auburn was great. We will get to that momentarily. But didn't we just beat Auburn last year? Yes, Vanderbilt did. But let's go ahead and bring our next guest to the stage. Man, this show's going to be so fun. I'm so excited about it. Everybody, please welcome Mac from Spicy Mac's Takes. How we doing, man?
What's going on, buddy? Man, how
Man,
about South Carolina?
how
How
about we're
about
going to
that?
discuss that. We're going to discuss that tonight.
Man, they're back. Listen. I'm just saying, the men's basketball team. I've made a couple picks with them, and I hit one of the parlays, so I give it to them. They were definitely they helped.
Hey, Mac,
So,
we're going to discuss that here in just a minute because I got 4 words for somebody on this podcast.
all right. So, listen, we're going to go ahead and bring up our first graphic here. It's at the South Carolina Ole Miss game, where South Carolina won by 3. So this photo is courtesy of Ryan. He is one of my associates, one of my most favorite people in this world. Just the guy that if y'all knew him is just happy at the world. Thank you, Ryan, for letting us use this picture you took. That was right there live at the game, where the Gamecocks took out another. I think what was Ole Miss at the time, 18-4.
Yes, I think you're
I
right,
didn't know
sir.
a Kentucky player kissed a player. Yeah, I think they're
He did.
18-4. So
I'm going to
that's
bring
another
that up.
quality win.
I'm going to bring that up,
So
Chris. Just give me time.
so this is Columbia Life Arena for y'all that's never seen it. It's pretty. But let's bring up the fact that South Carolina is now number one in men's and women's in the SEC.
Okay, so
Combined record of 45-3. All 3 losses on the men's team because the women are unfucking beatable. So 45-3. Both of them lead the SEC. Let's talk about the Gamecocks.
let's talk about it, Andrew. I got one question. That I need you to pronounce how many wins they have right now. I
Because
didn't say
Missouri
losses. I
sucks
said
more,
wins.
Chris. That's why.
Andrew, how many wins does South Carolina
Zero.
have? No, no, no. I want him to answer this. There's a reason. How many wins do y'all have right now?
We have 20.
How many? I
All
didn't
right,
hear you.
Kenny, we're
Bro,
going to move
look at the
on if you don't
graphic.
stop.
No, no, no. He told me. He
No,
told
no,
me at the
he
beginning of
called it.
college
He called it.
basketball that I was full of shit that South Carolina did not have a chance to win 20 games this year, and we not even out of February in that 20. I said they
And they
win
shouldn't.
22 to 24. Shouldn't and doing is two different things. I told you from
Cody,
the
it's time to
beginning.
go to HR now.
I've told you from the beginning of the season. There's two things about basketball. It's a game of runs, and the
You know
team
what?
in college basketball that gels the quickest wins more games. South Carolina gelled early, and I seen it. I called this.
Chris said, "Do you need a cookie?" So just so y'all know,
Tell Chris to Chris, go suck somebody's big toe because Vanderbilt ain't even gonna win 7 games this year in basketball, and that's pitiful.
Kenny will have his own show, and then Kenny can take over the show. But right now, as Villain stands, it's still my show. So we will talk about what do you think, James and Mac, about South Carolina being in first place in both men's and
Congratulations.
women's. I'm excited.
Congratulations. That's all I can say. I don't watch much of college basketball. I
Yeah,
don't. I don't.
remember you told
It's,
me.
I mean, for me, it's pretty shocking to see South Carolina in, of all conferences, the SEC to be in first. But let's be honest about one thing. SEC has never really been known to be a basketball type of school. They've always been known for one thing and one thing only. And much like the state of Texas, that is football.
Except for Kentucky.
Yeah, except for Kentucky.
yeah, no,
Yep.
I was gonna say, like, to see Kentucky, Florida, Tennessee all down.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Mm.
And Florida won back-to-back national championships like not too terribly long ago too. So I mean,
Oh.
Florida's a pretty decent basketball school and good enough offensively to keep it up. When they play Tennessee, they might lose by 20. So it's they're not good enough offensively, but they're good enough defensively to shut anybody down.
That's
And
correct.
they went to Tennessee and beat them. So the next game is at home. Going to the number 5 team in the country and just smacking them right across the face was just the highlight of my day that day. I got to be honest with you. That was just fun. That was just fun basketball. South Carolina's playing like they've got nothing to lose every single game, and it shows because they're just like they're going out there having fun. Lamont Paris, though, he is a way better coach than I thought he was going to be coming in. I got to be honest with you. So with that being said, I know you don't watch a lot of college basketball, Mac. Kenny, I know that you'll have an opinion on this, but who is the best team in college basketball right now? We'll start with you, James.
I mean, man, there's a lot of good teams. The only thing I really got to say is that when it comes to the top 5, nobody has been safe. Nobody. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. I remember one week where a team would get to number 1, they lost. Another team would get to number 1, they lost. But if I had to pick a team, I'd probably have to pick multiple teams. Obviously, the defending champs being Kansas and probably Purdue.
I'm gonna keep riding that UConn train until UConn loses me money. I'm gonna keep betting on UConn.
Well, they are the defending national champions. So, I mean, 2 years ago, Kansas is.
Purdue is interesting because they got a big man now. Now, whether he can come to play and he gonna play like a big man when it's time, that's gonna be the deciding factor when March comes around.
Exactly.
Well, here's
Purdue
what I
is
got
a
to say.
pretender. They sure were last year.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. They have some good pieces there, but that if the pieces don't play together, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, I'm going to say this. Everything's looking good, but as soon as March rolls around, there's always that Cinderella dark horse lurking in the shadows, just waiting to pounce.
And that could be South Carolina.
I hope so. 2017, we went to the Final Four. So
let me say something. Let me say something about this.
TJ.
What's up, TJ? The last 10 national champions in college basketball have had one stat that only right now, 5 schools in the whole nation have at this point that has won a national championship. That stat is you have to be ranked in the top 10 in both offensively and defensively. Can y'all name me the 5 schools right now that are ranked both offensive and defensively in the top 10? Can
No.
anybody on this pod? No. South Carolina, Auburn, Kansas, Purdue, and Baylor.
So let's go back to the question at hand. Who right now is the best team in the
There's not
NCAA?
one. It's too even. It's too even across the board. There's not one dominant team this year. It has been shown that any team can get beat on any
This is
day
an
of the
opinion
week.
question, Kenny. This isn't like who's going to win it all. So
So
I will go.
So
Even
I
though
Tim
just-
Bailey,
Kansas
you're
lost
full
to
of it.
Kansas
Get
State,
off here.
I have to put this spicy pick out there. I have to. All right. So if you put $20 right now on the Gamecocks winning the national championship, $20 will win you $1,500. I'm just saying. It's a spicy pick. It's a spicy pick, and that's right up my alley. Like,
I mean, think about it, that's a lot of money. But I still think
Jakeem.
Kansas is the team to beat, even though they slipped up against Kansas State. I still think they're the best team in the country. I think they're definitely the best coach team in the country. Bill Self is the best coach, not Coach Cal, which is Coach Cal may not even be at Kentucky next year. If you're paying attention to Twitter
That is
at
true.
all, so who knows? Coach Cal may end up at St. John's when Rick Pitino retires. Seems to be the place to go.
So Tim Bailey wants to run his mouth about Auburn, talking about Auburn is easily the worst of these 5 teams. The problem with that, Tim Bailey, when Auburn has been the home team, whether in the NCAA tournament or playing in the jungle, and I showed Andrew these stats over the last 3 years, Auburn is 41-2. You're full of shit, Tim Bailey.
Answer Tim Bailey's question.
Kenny, which of these teams, which team among those
Sound it
other
out.
4 is
Come on, we all went to grade school. We took English.
Okay, so here we go. South Carolina comes to Auburn next Wednesday night, February 14th. We'll find out who's better then. You got to play in the jungle. And right now, Andrew will tell you that there's a very slim possibility that you beat Auburn in the jungle. Alabama learned that lesson. It is one of the toughest arenas to play college basketball at. It is loud and we don't care. And Calipari is crap. And then following that Saturday, since you want to run your mouth, Matt, Kentucky has to come to Neville Arena, and they're going to get slaughtered. And when they lose, there's no chance. It's already been said. Auburn beats Kentucky. There's no chance that Kentucky can finish in the top 3.
So I'm
in the SEC.
confused. You just said, Matt, since you want to run your mouth, he said nothing about Auburn or anything. He literally said Calipari isn't going anywhere.
Calipari, Auburn is a good team, but you, as allured to Auburn,
Alluded to.
whatever. I ain't worried about Tim Bailey. Tim Bailey, let me tell you something. The last time Kansas seen us, we blew the
You
doors
said,
off.
could
Right?
Auburn win at South Carolina?
Yes, we could win at South Carolina. We won at Ole Miss,
So we're going to
and we're
move
going to
on.
win at Tennessee. And we're going to win at Tennessee. I'm calling it now. Auburn beats Tennessee in Tennessee this year.
We're going to move on now because we have the co-owner. Let's see. Houston, UConn 1 and 2, and isn't close. That could be. We have the co-owner and the COO of College Football Dogs, which is the company that produces our show, by the way. Colin, how are you doing today?
What's going on, boys? Why the hell? Why do I see all the red? Not liking that Kansas City Chiefs shit.
Hey, don't like it, buddy. Don't like it, but I'm in that kingdom, so
It's all he can afford.
Yeah, I'm in that kingdom because none of my picks went through, and Dallas isn't in the Super Bowl.
hey, I don't want to hear your mouth. We're gonna get to you, sir, and you're gonna take the heat like a man tonight. Max stood in the fire last week and took it like a man. You didn't
Hey,
show up.
I'm sorry,
Huh?
work got the best of me. You know that's
That's fine.
just
I
how it
understand
is.
that you're in the military, but now tonight is your time to stand in the fire like you said you would and be a man. We'll see if you can take the fire.
I'm
That
sorry.
being
Everything you said just put me to
said,
sleep.
hold on.
I love James. I love you, James. I love
So now, with that being said, we brought Colin on for a specific reason because I really wanted to do this. Pretty fun area here. But before we get to that, I just want to say that we are going to do what we always do. We're going to pay the bills. You're watching College Sports Villains only on the Dog Media Network. See you in 30 seconds.
Dano seasoning, food's favorite flavor.
Yum Yum, get you some.
I'm Joe Burrito, your favorite burrito. Whoa, whoa.
Joe, we
Hey.
all know you're the best.
What?
But you can always do better.
What you got?
Try the new Dano's Hot Chipotle.
Hey. Ooh, that's spicy. Yum, yum.
Yum Yum, get you some.
Welcome back to College Sports Villains only on the Dog Media Network. I have been looking forward to this all week. I got to tell you, we are going to do our top 3 college and pro for you, Matt, because I kind of left you in the dark. And I don't know if you had time to prepare for the college. So you can do your top 3 pro, but we're going to do our top 3 college quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, coaches, and defensive players all bunched together. Not
Can we do it?
linebackers and
Can
all
we
that.
put what's the over under on number of Auburn related guys that's on Kenny's list?
5?
Let's make a bet on
I
that.
might check
NFL,
that up to 7 or 8.
NFL or college, Colin?
College.
I'll
college.
take the under at 3.
College is college. If you were going pro, then I could tell you that you might lose. But college, you might. One of y'all might be right, but I'm not going to say who.
So here's how I want to do it. I want to do quarterbacks. We'll all do our quarterbacks, and then I'm pulling up my notes right now. By the way, we'll all do
Yeah,
our
good.
quarterbacks first, then running backs, then we'll go wide receivers, defensive players, and we'll end with top 3 coaches of our lifetime that we saw play either live or on TV. Honestly, since we'll start with quarterbacks, I want to start with Mac here because I think I already know his top 3, and I agree with 2 of them with my whole heart. Go ahead, sir.
So okay. We doing college or pro?
I would prefer you do college, but I didn't know how prepared you were.
College. Okay, okay. So Peyton Manning in college, Michael Vick, college, okay, and Vince Young, college.
Those are
Ooh.
3 fantastic quarterbacks. I got to tell you, none of those made my list, but I could see all 3 of those in a top 3.
Best that I've seen. Best that
Right.
I've seen.
This isn't a fact, so this is an opinion piece. So everybody knows our personal take on the top 3 quarterbacks and such that we've seen. Next, I want to go to James.
So I'm gonna stick with the power conference, obviously being the SEC. Number 1, I'm sorry, I gotta go Cam Newton. I know he played at Auburn for a year, but this dude was damn near unstoppable when he was at Auburn. This man was Superman, for crying out loud. He could run, he could pass, he could catch, he could do it all. Number 2, I gotta go Tim Tebow. The man, like, we are seriously forgetting the kind of criminal team that Florida was back in the day. And Tim
Except for
Tebow, yeah, and Tebow was essentially the peacemaker of that team and led them to a national championship.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Swamp Kings, I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix. It is great. It'll have you wanting to be a Florida Gator just because of the coaching work regimen that Urban Meyer put that team through. My God. And then number 3, I gotta go Johnny Football. I mean, the man was razzle dazzling. The man looked like Magic Johnson of college football. This dude was pulling off moves like, it was like, bro, how? Unfortunately, he had some demons that he couldn't tackle. And when I watched that documentary on Netflix, I didn't really feel anything for him because it was like, bro, you're in the pros. You're getting paid to do something that you love. And you got 0 time watching the tape? No. But but in college, he was an absolute monster.
Yes. So I specifically asked the owner and COO to come in here because this is the most analytical guy you will ever meet when it comes to sports. I mean, this is just a fact. So I am so excited to hear his top 3 everything. So I want to take this time to go to Colin and give us your top 3 because I've been looking forward to this all week since I asked you to be on the show.
Yeah. So again, this is villains. I'm gonna piss some fan bases off, and I'm here for it, right?
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I wouldn't want to do it on any other show. When I'm talking about quarterbacks, a lot of guys like to rattle off the Johnny Manziels, the Cam Newtons. You got Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes type guys. Okay, for me, they're great athletes. They're not some of the top quarterbacks, right? So a lot of these guys are going to come from teams that. A couple of these guys are coming from teams that might be group of 5 guys, right? So at number 3, I got Graham Harrell from Texas Tech. Graham Harrell from Texas Tech had a good career there. Had a lot of records, right? Most passes completed in a season, most passes average per game in a season, right? His completion percentage was through the roof at Texas Tech. Number 2, I got Matt Leinart. Matt Leinart leading those USC teams. Matt Leinart. I mean, I think a lot of people forget that Matt Leinart was on that team. When
Reggie Bush overshadowed that team.
Yep, exactly, because Reggie Bush overshadowed that team. But Matt Leinart was a phenomenal college quarterback. Number 1. This one is gonna, some people are gonna get offended with this one. Kellen Moore out of Boise State. Because he went to Boise State, group of 5. Some of these guys, they try to throw him under the bus. Kellen Moore again, and it's in my lifetime. I'm probably one of the youngest guys here too. So again, my lifetime that I've seen on television in the area. Again, Kellen Moore is a guy who grew up in Washington State, where I was born and raised. He was one of the guys where anywhere you talk to any college quarterback or any high school quarterback, when I was growing up in middle school, high school. Who did they want to be like? They want to be like Kellen Moore. That's who they wanted to be like.
Very nice. Before we get to Kenny, I just want to say, Cody, I love you for putting Connor Shaw in there. By the way, Connor Shaw was a 3-year starter in the Southeastern Conference and never lost a home game. Also was a quarterback that led South Carolina to 3 straight 11-win seasons, never been done before or since at South Carolina. So, Kenny, top 3 quarterbacks.
Number 1, Tim Tebow. And why I say Tim Tebow? Tim Tebow, after that Ole Miss game, played relentlessly. Relentlessly. You cannot argue that. Number 2.
He may be a man of God, but Lucifer took over from there.
Number 2, which is kind of weird that Matt said this, because I'm going to throw some shout out to my homeboy Hunter, the president, as I had Matt Leinart. Matt Leinart did some things. Matt Leinart did some things at USC that was crazy. And number 3 is Cam Newton. There's my first Auburn pick.
The first Auburn pick. Dylan Harris says, "Roll Tide, Kenny."
I work with him. Y'all don't. I work with him. I love him. Love you, Dill.
That's just for you. So my top 3 is going to be a little different. So I will go ahead and tell you my number 2 is Tim Tebow. Like you can't leave that guy out for what he did. My number 3, however, nobody said, and I'm glad you didn't, because me watching them was just crazy that he was this good and went number 1 overall over Peyton Manning. That's how fucking good this guy was in college. Ryan Leaf is a top 3 college quarterback of all time.
Unfortunately, the biggest bust in the NFL, too.
Correct. So
that's Marcus Russell.
But this guy, I don't know, man. Ryan Leaf got a bunch of felonies and shit now. But Ryan Leaf in college was drafted over Peyton Manning. That's how good in college he was. I want y'all to fathom that. Wrap your mind around the fact that this man was drafted before Peyton Manning. Like, he was unreal in college. Just unreal. And my number 1 quarterback at all time in college that nobody said, absolutely travesty that he didn't win a Heisman or 2, Tommy Frazier. I watched this guy at Nebraska. You want to talk about unstoppable? This man was unstoppable.
Was that
Nobody could
that
stop.
90s Nebraska team?
Yes, yes.
Mm.
Nobody could stop this man. Back to back national championships, didn't lose a game. Like, didn't matter what you did. Like, he was just going to run the ball. He rarely passed the ball, but when he did, it was always on target. Generally, because Nebraska ran the triple option, you really just didn't expect him to throw the ball. So it was more like a shock factor. Like, oh my God, they threw the ball. But he had a high passer rating anyway, right? Greatest college quarterback of all time, and it's not even close in my heart. And I am not a Nebraska fan. Tommy Frazier. So we will go back around the other way this time for the top 3 running backs, and I can't wait to hear Kenny say Bo Jackson. So let's go ahead and go for top 3 running backs. Let's start with Kenny.
Number
Yeah,
one,
Charlie
Ricky Williams. Can't argue that. Number one,
I mean,
Ricky
you
Williams.
can, but he was good.
Well, I mean, you could, but it's I'm gonna bust your heart. I do not have Bo in my top 3 because the 3 I'm gonna give you.
So you're high. Gotcha. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ricky Williams. Number 2 is LaDainian Thomas in college. The boy was a beast.
Yeah, San Diego
beast.
State. Yeah, he was really good. I used to watch
was
him.
a-
So
No,
y'all
he
are
played
too
at
young.
TCU.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, you ready for
Who
number
did you
3?
say? You said LaDainian Tomlinson?
Yeah.
I thought you said Marshall Faulk for some reason. Oh, anyway.
And number 3 is Derrick Henry from Alabama.
Well, I mean, I could see that. I just wanted to say Marshall Faulk is not in my top 3, but he's definitely number 4. When I was young, like a kid, I used to stay up till 2 in the morning to watch them because those West Coast games, out that he played at San Diego State, knew he was a superstar immediately. But go ahead, Colin. I can't wait for this. Yeah, Emmett was pretty good at Florida. What is the analytical top 3 running backs of college of all time?
Yeah, so number 3, I'm actually going with Ricky Williams here in my lifetime, right? Again, with the stipulation, my lifetime, Ricky Williams, I'm going number 3. Again, that was when I was younger. I remember watching him on the television. I couldn't analyze him at that point. My brain was not developed enough. Number 2, I actually have Adrian Peterson from Oklahoma at number 2. Adrian Peterson, number 2, did some phenomenal things at Oklahoma. Number 1, I know I mentioned his teammate. Number 2 for quarterback, Reggie Bush. Again, when you're talking running backs who lead the team in this modern era, I mean, that's you're talking about somebody special in today's day and age with how pass heavy football is. And you're talking about a running back that was the featured guy on that team.
Yep.
You got to go with them number 1.
I dare anybody to go onto YouTube and look up Reggie Bush's highlights. You will be shocked and awe.
Reggie Bush was definitely amazing. But for those of you who are a little older listening to Colin's list, keep in mind he's really young. So some
96.
So for some of us here who we've seen a lot more people play.
Exactly.
So,
there were a lot of guys. I was like, I wish I could have him on my list. Not old enough yet.
Not old enough.
Unfortunately, I was not old enough. Not old enough.
But definitely a top 3 list that in your personal lifetime, that it's really, I don't think I would really argue with it at all. James, top 3 college running backs. And Ricky Williams, Jerry McFadden, Will Spaghetti, JQ, that is a fantastic list.
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't agree more. Oh, my God. Wow. Thank you for unlocking that core. I think it was Arkansas versus LSU. It was like 6 overtimes in college football that one year. My God.
McFadden was the man.
Yeah, so when I was coming up, there really weren't a lot of running backs. And on top of that, I really wasn't into sports the same way that I am now. I was consumed by the goated mid-2000s cartoons like Ed, Edd and Eddy, Billy and Mandy, and all that other stuff, video games, and obviously candy, stuff that rotted my teeth and my brain. But looking back, let's see. Number 3, I'm going to get started with Saquon Barkley out of Penn State. I mean, when Penn State, coming off of the controversy that they were dealing with, as soon as they landed Saquon Barkley, the man just really spoke for that team himself. And it wasn't even close. Like what he is doing with the Giants is exactly the same thing that he was doing back at Penn State. Number 2, I'm going to go a little further back because unfortunately, up until 2012, I actually respected this team, but until they beat Notre Dame in the national championship, which is my team that I root for, I'm going to go with the 2009 Heisman winner, Mark Ingram. That man was a short, fucking powerful bastard. I mean,
he was awesome.
Ooh.
I love it. I love those picks so far.
And then number 1, much like Colin said, it's not even close. Reggie Bush.
Yep.
And then if I'm not trying to sound biased here, but a second list, that 3-headed monster that the 2001 Miami Hurricanes had. Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, and Frank Gore.
Yes, that. Imagine having those 3 all on the same team in the NFL. Keep
Yes,
in mind,
sir.
James is also young, and so is Matt. So I know we have a few viewers that
unfortunately,
are older.
1990.
Matt, your turn. You're on mute, buddy. Yeah, there you go.
91 ain't that young anymore, bro.
It is
You
when
ain't
you're looking
lying.
at it from
You
my
ain't
angle.
lying.
Is it my turn yet?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So number 1, I'm going Herschel Walker. 1,600 over 1,600 rushing yards his freshman year, phenomenal. Number 2, this is easy. Oklahoma State. Okay, Barry Sanders. I gotta bang the drum for him. And then somebody already called him, but Ricky Williams with Texas.
Yeah.
That's
so. I want everybody to understand Matt was not prepared for this. I forgot to send him the notes. So these are the top 3 running backs in your lifetime. And I know you did not watch Barry Sanders and Herschel Walker play in college.
No, I did not see them
like
play
4.
in college. I'm old enough to see it. Like, I remember watching them in the NFL, not college. But you say college, and I'm thinking who Heisman, greatest guys that I ever seen play.
That's fair.
That's what I'm thinking of. And, all the sports facts that come up. Now I'm sitting here doing research as everybody else is naming their list, and I'm like, hold on, this guy. And I'm sitting here, all right, well, this guy's better than this guy. Because Adrian Peterson, honestly, I wanted to shout him out immediately. But it's like, well, I know there's somebody that I know that I've seen play that's a little bit better than that as far as college-wise.
So, yeah, it's hard to disagree with that list. But so my top 3, I have at number 1, Bo Jackson. He was the most phenomenal running back in college I ever saw play. And Kenny's about my age. And to not say him, Kenny may not have watched him in college. I don't know. But the guy was, you want to talk about a video game character? He was a video game character in every sense of the word in college. Number 2, I got Herschel Walker, like unstoppable. Like I got to watch him. Like one of my very first memories was like his senior year or something. But like I did get to see him play, and he was unstoppable. Now number 3. Nobody said, and it's really, I get it because he played for those Wisconsin teams, but Ron Dane, the all-time NCAA's all-time leading rusher, watching him play, he never played for stats. Like he would have 200 yards in the first half and didn't even play the second half. Like he never even just like went after it like that. He was just that damn good in college. I used to love watching those Wisconsin teams with Ron Dane, man. Like Wisconsin would be on a bit. Oh God, I can't even watch Florida State and Clemson because Ron Dane's playing. That's how much fun it was to watch him run. I will never forget it. Yeah, Maurice Clarett, JQ says he was really good. He played 1 year and then tried to declare for the draft too young, then sued the NFL because they wouldn't let him in. And then he pulled a gun on somebody in the alley and robbed them. Like the whole story was very weird. We should do a villains 30 for 30 on Maurice Clarett, man. Like this shit was weird. Same way with Jamal Anderson, signed a $25 million contract, then decided to run cocaine from Colorado to Atlanta. I will never understand that. But we'll keep going around this way for the next one because I do want to give Mac a little more time because when I tell y'all I sprung at least James knew about 5 minutes before the show. Mac had no warning.
Nope. Fresh meat, straight in.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So we'll start with Kenny on this. We'll go wide receivers. Your top 3 college wide receivers.
Now understand when I pick these three is it's people that I seen play. So y'all are it's gonna be a little bit because I
Yes, we
didn't.
know the rules.
Number one is Larry Fitzgerald. That
Mhm.
kid was an absolute beast
Where'd
in
he go to
college.
college?
Pittsburgh.
Yes, I was wanting Kenny to answer that.
Okay, there you go. I'm gonna take criticism. Listen. Yes, I did. I'm supposed to take criticism from Mr. Tim Bailey for my number 3, but I will defend this kid to no honor against Tim Bailey live if he'll bring his
Who's your
butt on
number
here.
2?
Number
I
2 is
missed it.
Michael Crabtree. Michael Crabtree was good, but number 3 is gonna throw some salt on Tim Bailey because he's from Oklahoma State. And that is Justin Blackman.
Mhm.
That kid was an honest beast. Even though he ain't do crap in the NFL. He was a
Drug
beast in
test
college.
now. So
Y'all want it? You
why
said
Justin
people I
Blackman
seen
in
play.
their lifetime, yes, but in your lifetime, I disagree. But this is your top 3, not mine. Justin Blackman was a beast. So now the analytical top 3 wide
I wanna hear
receivers of all
Colin.
time. I'm so excited because I want to see how close it is to my list. Colin, what we got?
Yeah, number 3, I got Larry Fitzgerald, right? Larry Fitzgerald sitting at number 3, again, phenomenal player.
Yes.
Could not have a better guy out there, wide receiver. Again, what he did against A&M,
Right.
just unbelievable. Number 2, I'm going with Justin Blackman. Again, another guy. Just what I remember growing up, I think I was in high school, maybe 8th grade. He was the talk of the town. Everybody. You going to watch? You going to watch Justin Blackman this weekend? You going to watch Justin Blackman this weekend? Yeah. I'm going to go watch Blackman this weekend. Number 1, Calvin Johnson, Georgia Tech. How could you not go
Megatron.
with Megatron? I mean, dude he's huge. That guy is humongous. And people, I don't think people realize just how big he was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people understood the magnitude of what he did in college too, because Georgia Tech
Right.
ran the triple fucking option, and he was
Exactly.
still making that.
They ran the
unreal.
triple option. Yeah, exactly.
How did they get?
Exactly.
How did they get Megatron? You know what? We're only gonna throw the ball 10 times a game, but all 10's going to you. Okay, like that's how that went down. I mean, like triple option, the guy had averaged like 150 yards a game. It was insane.
Yep.
It was like
It
he was that
crazy.
good.
It was crazy. Yes,
It really was.
Exactly.
So James, top 3 wide receivers. Who you got?
So number 3, number 2, number 3, I got Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, like, is there really any more to say about this dude? I mean, his numbers, results spoke for themselves. Number 2,
Correct.
Calvin Johnson. Again, like Mr. Collins said, dude was a beast. People didn't really know how big he was until we saw this dude playing in Detroit. This dude made 6-foot people look like they were 5'5" for crying out loud.
Yes.
Like, this dude was a modern built Randy Moss. He was just out there mossing people, and it wasn't even close. Now, number 1, I will see y'all, Justin Blackman, and raise you, because nobody said him, Tavon Austin.
Ooh.
I mean,
That's a hometown shout out for me. I played high school football against Tavon Austin.
There you go.
Go look at his highlights. The man was a wide receiver version of LaShawn McCoy. This man was moving laterally, and as soon as he found space, it was off to the races.
I don't disagree from your perspective. So Mac, your top 3.
I'm happy nobody said it, or at least I didn't hear anybody say it. All right. So number 1, Randy Moss. I'm going Randy Moss. Okay. Number 2, I'm going Calvin Johnson. Now, my number 3, this is the one I was happy nobody said. Torrey Holt.
from
Ooh.
NC State. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep.
Like I mean,
Chattanooga. Yeah.
bro, very underrated.
So yes, he was. So my top three, I'm gonna agree with Kenny on one. Michael Crabtree, and he's a little before y'all's time. But
Mhm.
Michael Crabtree at Texas Tech, he was a video game character as well. You
I
could
mean,
throw
that
the
catch
ball
that he had
within.
against who was it? Texas?
Yes, to beat them. Yes, knock them
Mm.
out the championship game. Yeah. So Michael Crabtree, you could throw the ball within 15 yards of him, and he was going to catch it every
Oh,
single
yeah.
Oh,
time.
no.
Every
I
time.
remember we won a Super
Mike
Bowl
Leach,
off his
fun and
drop.
gun. Yes.
Yes.
So Mike Leach, that was during the height of his Texas Tech career there, where they were throwing the ball for 600-700 yards a game, and Michael Crabtree had like 330 and 6 touchdowns. It was insane. Michael Crabtree was the man. Number two, nobody said, and he was definitely before anybody's time here, except for Kenny and myself. Peter Warwick at Florida State. I
Yeah.
never saw a guy catch every single ball that was ever thrown to him, except for him. Like, he wasn't the flashiest guy, but if you put the ball within his vicinity, he was going to get it every single time. Peter Warwick was freaking amazing, and I hate Florida State more than anything. Y'all know I do. I trash on them all the time, but you got to give the devil his due, man. Peter Warwick was the man. Like, I used to watch him like, God, I hate Florida State, but I'm watching this game. Give him the ball. You know, one of those you just wanted to see. And the number one wide receiver of my lifetime, which I don't believe Kenny said was really odd to me because he's the greatest college wide receiver ever, out of Marshall, Randy Moss.
Randy Moss, yeah.
He is this guy he was going to Florida State, and then got into some a little bit of trouble, and then went to Marshall and showed out. The greatest, hands down, greatest college wide receiver in my lifetime. I showed out Warwick, man. Peter Warwick was that guy. Like, whether y'all believe it or not, this dude was just so amazing to watch. And I really just didn't want to give Florida State their due, but I can't lie. So, Warwick's definitely up there. Percy Harvin
too. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, Percy Harvin was great. He had some great quarterbacks throwing to him as well. And then he had one really average. But anyway, so we'll go to the top three defensive players of all time. Are you good to go first, Mac, this time? And we'll go this way.
The greatest college defenders.
So I'll let you go last on this one. I'll give you the rules real quick. We're not doing linebacker, cornerback, just literally the three best defensive players that you've seen as total. You could do a linebacker, a cornerback, and say whatever you want to do. But we'll start with Kenny, so I'll give you a little time. But then I will let you do the top three college coaches of your lifetime first. So Kenny, top three.
Here's where Colin's gonna make a little bit of push with what he said at the beginning of this. But I got to go at my number three is Turner from Alabama. He no matter what you say about the kid, I'm not an Alabama fan, but he is a phenomenal defensive player. The way he can get off block. What?
You're a closet Alabama fan.
No, I'm not no fucking closet Alabama fan. Now, my top two, I know I'm a little biased on this, but they are Auburn people. So
is that three already?
No, I ain't got but one Auburn person. This is gonna be three when I finish. Number two is D Ford, and number one is Nick Fairley.
I could see Nick Fairley on the top three list. I guess.
D Ford was a beast too.
I don't even know who that is. So no. Colin, the top three analytical best defensive players of all time. I can't wait. I really can't wait for the coaches. Why I left it for last, just so y'all know. Colin, who we got?
So for me, number three is going to be Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, that dude was just, again, in my lifetime, he was bigger, he was stronger. I mean, he was a monster up front.
The Outback Bowl against Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan. I want to see him again.
He's my boy.
You're never seeing a play like that ever again. I guarantee you.
No, never again. Had to be on my top three there. Number two, I got Dwight Freeney out of Syracuse. Again, you got another pass rusher. I mean, this dude was a monster. For me, number one is going to be a linebacker out of Boston College, Luke Kuechly. Luke
Oh
Kuechly.
yeah, he was
He's a
amazing.
guy who, again, because of how good he was in the NFL, his college stuff gets overlooked for me. I think, again, Luke Kuechly in college, very, very underrated compared
This
just
is a
because
great
of
three.
how well he played in the NFL.
That's great. I like that.
I like it. I like it. Very analytical. I'll give you that because it's hard to argue what they did with who they had.
Exactly.
James, top three defensive players of your lifetime.
So number 3, I'm gonna have to go with the comment that popped up, and Ndamukong Suh. Like, look, Nebraska isn't known for their football, but when Ndamukong Suh went to that school, he was the reason that man was that. He was the reason that team was actually put on the map.
Oh God! Can I stop you for a second?
Sure.
Like,
I was going to say.
No, I will hear your next. But you said Nebraska isn't known for football, and me
They're
coming
known
from
for
the
football.
'80s, like it
Well,
just
okay,
my
they're
mind
known
could
for
not
football.
wrap around.
We'll say mid
Recently.
2000s and on.
All right, so they've had a bad run, yeah, but
There
just
you
for me,
go.
just so you know, like my head could not wrap around as I watched them
Yeah.
win like 4 national championships in my lifetime. I'm like,
That's fair. That's fair. That's
does
fair.
not compute. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so number 2 is going to be another defensive lineman.
Chris is also old, just so you know. He yeah, so we can't
So
wrap our
number
mind
2
around
is
watching
going to
all
be
them
another
win it.
defensive lineman, Miles Garrett out of Texas A&M.
Oh yeah, he was the
That
man.
There
man
you go.
was
Yep.
Yeah, that's a
beast.
good. Yes,
I mean,
Yep.
he goes to Cleveland, plays with long sleeve. As soon as he takes it off, he's instantly drug tested because of how big he is. Like,
That's
come
right.
on, NFL, do a better job than that.
I would've
Just
drug
look at his
tested him, too.
highlights. The man was a monster. And
Well,
then
you don't
number
Barry
1,
Bonds yourself and then not expect something, but go ahead.
yeah. And then number 1, just for me, it's not even close. Ed Reed, love you, but Sean Taylor, baby.
Sean Taylor.
Yep, Sean Taylor. That man was a Mack truck walking.
I won't disagree with that. It's hard, but this just so y'all know, Emily did get to see Debo Samuel play live, and most of you have not. We watched the Gamecocks and Debo Samuel beat down Vanderbilt. Just want to throw that out there. All right, Mac, your top 3 picks.
All right. So Sean Taylor, he already shouted that one out. All right. Number 2, right? Charles Woodson.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sneaky pick for you, right? And number 1, I'm very biased. I don't care. Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp dominated. Okay.
Yep.
Dominated.
Oh, yeah.
College and
So,
pro.
For me to remember,
Yeah.
like that was one of the first, like Miami University, Warren Sapp, and then you had Ray Lewis coming out, you had Ed Reed, you had Sean Taylor, like
You
it
even
was
had
hit
Vince
after
Wilfork.
hit after hit, like, and then watching him win it with the Bucks. Mwah. Beautiful.
Man, that is Warren Sapp was one of the greatest of all time. So my top 3, number 3, I have LeVar Arrington out of Penn State. The dude was an absolute monster. He was in the backfield sometimes before the ball was even there. And what really, really sucks is he came right from maybe 100 miles from Columbia in South Carolina, and Lou Holtz let him walk to Penn State. So it really sucks, but he is number 3. Number 2 for me is Jadeveon Clowney. And y'all can say that's biased.
I left him off of my list on purpose. I knew you was gonna call him. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, go ahead.
But y'all, I have not named one Gamecock in this entire list of any of these. So there is no bias here. I watched this man play, and granted, I watched every single Gamecock game. So I watched every single game he played. Sometimes they would triple team him. In the SEC, we're talking SEC offensive lineman would triple team this guy. That's the impact that he had. He's also the number 1 overall pick ever to come out of high school. The highest rated recruit ever belongs to the University of South Carolina. He couldn't be stopped. Like he was a monster. And then when people found out we are going to triple team him, and then they found out Melvin Ingram was on the other side, they couldn't do that no more. It was just a free for all at that point. That's when South Carolina had those 3 straight 11-win seasons. And had there been a playoff back then, South Carolina would have a national championship right now. I truly believe that. A team that had Stephon Gilmore, Jadeveon Clowney, Melvin Ingram, Marcus Lattimore, Alshon Jeffrey. I mean, like, this was a legit, real team. With that being said, the number 1 defensive player ever watched in college, and it ain't even close, Neon Deion Sanders at Florida State again. But Florida State had them dudes back in the 90s, man, like in the 80s. Like Deion Sanders was the greatest defensive player and the most fun I ever watched in college. I loved it because, like, football was very touchdown, yay. Like Deion Sanders would start high stepping from the 50. Like, haha, I know you ain't catching me. Like, it was fun.
I mean, don't forget the Hurricanes of the 80s. They were doing the same thing that Deion was too.
Yeah, but Deion was flashier. You know what I mean? Deion was
very true, very
money.
true. Very true. Very true.
Straight money. He knew how to cash that in. Hey,
this
Matt,
is coming from the man wearing sunglasses. The flashiest looking dude on here is like, yeah.
Hey, look. When
I love it. I love
it,
though. I love it.
When you watch the 30 for 30, and man, I watched the 80s Hurricanes, I was like, damn, these guys are not only bad boys, but they're scoring touchdowns and throwing it in your faces. Like, yo, you don't like us scoring? Try to stop us.
Yeah, so back in those days, you had Bernie Kosar out there slinging, if you're talking about the 80s, slinging them out there to these top wide receivers against inferior competition. Like, it was fun to watch. Like, you couldn't be stopped. But Florida State was doing the same thing. And the thing about those Florida State teams, they should have more national championships. Every team they played was inferior. It was crazy. Like, Bobby Bowden built some teams that should have won every single game for 5 years. Like, how they lost is beyond me. And I hate Florida State, but it's just the fact of the matter. So now we're going to finish up with the top 3 coaches of all time, of our lifetime. We're going to start with you, Mac. Top 3 college football coaches.
All right. So I'm going Mike Leach. I'm throwing Mike Leach in there. Don't care.
Yeah, Mike Leach was awesome.
Yeah,
yep.
What's his name? He coached LSU. He's got the accent for it.
Ed Orgeron.
There you go. And then Nick Saban. That was an easy list for me.
Ed Orgeron.
Yeah, he said it.
The 2019 LSU team.
And outside of that, it's just weird to me.
Hey, yeah.
But that 2019 was one of the greatest of all time.
These are the coaches I've seen win in my lifetime that I've made note of. I do not watch college football. I work on Saturdays. So,
like,
I'm sorry.
It's good. It's good.
He does have a national championship, so it's hard to really argue with a winner, right? So, James, your top 3 college coaches of all time. These are great lists, you guys in the comments, man. Like, just great list. But go ahead, James.
So there's 2 modern day coaches that I got on here. One of them I'm going to be starting off with. This man was, as far as I know, is probably the only man that can really say that he dethroned the Alabama dynasty multiple times, especially in the college football championship, and that's Dabo Swinney. I mean, like Clemson was actually fun to watch. The team that he was coaching, the players that they had, the quarterbacks that he had, it's just, in my opinion, like, he was one of the best coaches that could actually rival Nick Saban, because unfortunately Alabama had all the top recruits going to them. Not like what we're seeing right now in today's day and age.
And your lifetime, I won't disagree either, because the guy beat the GOAT in 2 national championship games head to head. No one else did that, like, at all, and wasn't even close. So you cannot argue that, the success that he's had. But go ahead, continue on.
Number two, this man has had a long history in college football. It's a damn shame that ever since the controversy happened, people could say that's basically what he is known for. But one thing he did know was college football, and that is Joe Paterno, baby.
Okay. Okay.
And then number one,
Yeah, a lot of people have him on their list.
yeah. Number one, it's not even close. What this man has done since he came into Tuscaloosa, Nick Saban.
Okay.
It's not even close. His resume speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
I don't disagree with that list at all. In your lifetime. So I'm looking at it, and I'm really excited because now it's time for the analytical top 3 college football coaches of Colin's lifetime. Who we got?
So I'm going to throw out an honorable mention first. So I got Bob Stoops' honorable mention. I think that one's got to be named somewhere.
I like honorable mention for Bob Stoops. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, honorable mention, Bob Stoops. I got to mention that one. Number 3 for me, Pete Carroll. Again, Pete Carroll. I think he did phenomenal while he was USC. Yeah. I just don't think he was there long enough. If again, when you look at the length of time some of these coaches have been there, sure. What he did for how long he was there was phenomenal. Number 2, again, Joe Paterno. I think Joe Pa was a great coach. Had a phenomenal record.
Lou Holtz, where's
Number 1, Nick Saban. Obviously, I think that's the pretty going to be the common one that a lot of people have on this one.
I think we. Anyway, well, let's see what Kenny says about his top 3 because I want to know.
How many Auburn? Is it 3 Auburn coaches?
Is it Hugh Freeze and
3 Alabama coaches?
And
you don't know 3 Auburn coaches.
Please. So there is no Auburn coach on this, and I was hoping that Colin didn't say this, but my number 3 is Pete Carroll. So the reason I picked Pete Carroll is because he did accomplish a lot in a very little time at USC, and he had quotably probably some of the best talent that college football has seen. My number 2, a lot of people are not going to like this. I don't care if you don't like this dude. It's Bobby Bowden. Bobby Bowden was freaking phenomenal in the 90s with Florida State. And number 1 is Nick Saban. He's the GOAT. We won't never have another Nick Saban. Mm-hmm. I don't care what y'all say about Kirby Smart. Oh, he's the next. No, he will never accomplish what Nick Saban accomplished. Sorry, I said it.
Yeah, I mean, 7 national championships. I don't think so either. But so my top 3, number 1 is Nick Saban. I'm gonna get that out of the way because that's the obvious one. 7 national championships. Like, I don't know how you cannot just like give the guy the crown, right? My number 2. Greatest of all time is Tom Osborne at Nebraska. Ooh. Like they played in a season where they only played 11 games and they averaged 11 wins a year. And that's with the bowl game and all that. 3-4 national championships. I mean, the guy was on his way to be a Nick Saban, and he is now, and then decided to go and run for Senate and got into politics, but easily could have won 5 easily. Tom Osborne, let's see. Kenny's wow, Kenny. Like they're really coming after you.
Is there a reason Kenny is a Chiefs fan? Because the logo is in the shape. Man, stop. 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 We're gonna get to that. That is coming. Y'all get off the damn
thing.
Hold on. My number 3 quarterback of all time, and once again, this isn't biased. This is
quarterback.
Just
you mean coach?
I mean coach. And this isn't biased. This is just because of what he did. Steve Spurrier is the number 3. So he won a national championship at Florida at a time where he had to compete with Bobby Bowden's Seminoles year in, year out. And then with Georgia, Tennessee, played in the SEC, and then kind of like South Carolina is now, but successful. They play in the SEC and have Clemson as their out-of-conference rival. He did that and won, right? He had 3 straight 11 wins at South Carolina. I want y'all to soak that in. South Carolina has never won 11 games before, and the last time they had won 10 was 1984. before Steve Spurrier came to the University of South Carolina. I love the guy and went 3 straight seasons with 11 wins. Never been done before, and it's never been done since. It hasn't. So just the fact that he was able to have that kind of success at South Carolina when no one else could even come close, even the legendary Lou Holtz, makes him number 3 on this list. So I want to go quickly into the meme of the week here. Then we'll go to commercial. And then, Colin, if you stick around, I'll get your take on the Super Bowl first. And if in case you have to run. All right. Awesome. Phil Fulmer, Matt Brown, Urban Meyer. Those are all good. Meme of the week in dedication of the Trojans here. I don't know if anybody showed Hunter yet, but I'm sure that he may agree, because could you imagine what Lincoln Riley could do if he had a defense? Like, in all seriousness, if he had a legit defense, like, he would already have a national championship to his name. And
imagine if he had Troy Polamalu on that defense.
I
he
know.
didn't go to USC.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
If Lincoln Riley figures out, like, honestly, truly figures out how to get some defense where he's at, they are going to be scary. Like, they are going to be super, because you already know how many Heisman quarterbacks has he already had in his short career? Is it 3?
3 or 4.
It's 3 or 4. And he's only been coaching for, like, what, 6 years? I mean, it's insane. The guy is just amazing.
Was he there when Caleb Williams won the Heisman last year?
Yes.
Okay.
So he had Caleb Williams. He had Baker Mayfield won it, right? Kyler Murray.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, yeah.
Jalen Hurts. The guy does nothing but take quarterbacks and just mold them into something great is what he does. And if he can figure out how to get some defense, they'll be unstoppable. So we are going to go
Florida.
Take a quick commercial because we got to pay the bills. I love everybody here, but I really can't wait for Mac's take on the Super Bowl. I've been looking forward to it all week after his comments last week. You have no idea. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear who James picks, because I honestly don't know his who he's going to pick in the Super Bowl. So I'm excited to get to that. And of course, we'll hear Colin, we'll hear Kenny, we'll hear Emily's pick for the Super Bowl. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're watching College Sports Villains on the Dog Media Network.
Icy Breeze is the world's first portable air conditioner and cooler. A premium ice cooler that doubles as an eco-friendly portable air conditioner. This is not a swamp cooler just blowing air across ice. Over 60 parts and components allow Icy Breeze to achieve what no other product in the world can do. The secret behind the Icy Breeze is an innovative design that circulates chilled ice water through a heat exchanger in the lid, replacing the Freon used in most ACs. Fresh air is drawn from hidden vents in the top of the cooler, pulled across the exchanger, and chilled down to 35 degrees cooler than the outside air. A 3-speed fan control delivers Icy Breeze's dry, cold air up to 25 miles per hour, just like a car AC. And a stay-put flex hose directs the breeze in any direction. Wherever you need it, Icy Breeze helps you beat the heat.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are going to go into our Super Bowl analysis. Let's start with Colin.
Yeah, when you look at the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes, what does he like to do, right? Patrick Mahomes loves to get quick throws off the ball, right? They love to run a little bit of an up tempo. The way you throw that off, good defense, run the ball. Keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands. Look at the AFC Championship. The Baltimore Ravens only ran the ball 16 times. The week before that, they ran it 42 times against Houston. I mean, the ability of the San Francisco 49ers to run the ball, that's what they've done all year. Look what they did in the NFC Championship game against the Lions. Christian McCaffrey was beaten up. They still ran the ball 32 times, 158 yards. They're averaging nearly 5 yards a carry in that game. I mean, if their defense could stay on, if their running backs could stay on, I think that the 49ers are going to win this game. I really do. I think that everybody's kind of overlooking that offense. I know something Tim Bailey said is Brock Purdy is just getting lucky, and you know what, his luck could run out. But when you're on a hot streak keeps going. In my opinion, I'm taking San Francisco, and I'm taking them by about 6.
Wow. I I'm not going to say I disagree with that, but let's go ahead and get Kenny's Chiefs pick out of the way here.
Let's go. Give it to me, Kenny.
Chiefs win, but I'm gonna let everybody do their pick, and then I'm gonna come back with my rant, I've been good the whole show. I'm gonna give my rant at the end when everybody's done, because somebody on this podcast is gonna be a man tonight and stand in the fire because he promised. Everybody knows I'm taking the Chiefs. He's gonna stand in the fire tonight because I got some. I gave it to Mac last week, and he's fixing to take it just as hard as Mac did, and he's got some explaining to do.
Okay, you don't have to phrase it like that because Mac didn't take a damn thing. Okay.
Oh, you took it, Mac.
But I
You
did.
took it like a
I did
champ.
sit here and I listened to you talk.
And you took it like a
Absolutely.
champ.
Okay.
You
So,
took it like a champ. I don't think James
Mac.
takes it as easy.
Max, since we all know what Kenny has and he wants to completely have a hillbilly rant at the end, go ahead and give us your pick.
So listen, until it has proven me wrong, okay, you can't beat the pinstripes. So I'm taking Kansas City. Listen, and I'm telling you, it's going to be funny as hell because it's going to be the exact same game that the 49ers played last week, where 49ers are going to come in, I promise you, they're going to tear their ass up the first 2 quarters. But all of a sudden, here comes Kansas City. It's literally going to be Atlanta all over again for Kyle Shanahan, and it's going to be his nightmare. And it's going to be the worst loss that the 49ers have taken thus far.
So he's going with the Chiefs as well. So it's 2 against 1 right now, Colin. Let's
That's
see what
fine.
James has to say.
Oh, well, Kansas City, what can I say? Their wide receivers haven't been able to catch a damn thing all season. Like, Patrick Mahomes could throw a dime with COVID, and the receivers, excluding Travis Kelce, wouldn't have been able to catch it if it dropped into their laps. Oh, but now the playoffs start, and now they want to start catching things like they're fucking Pro Bowlers. Okay, cool. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are the only 2 players on that team that actually have some Super Bowl experience. Now, and same with Andy Reid. Now, this is the most vulnerable that Kansas City has looked all season. And the fact that teams haven't been able to capitalize on it. Buffalo looking your way, you dumb sons of bitches, because I know you were going through some Vietnam flashbacks when Tyler Bass kicked it wide right. Now, granted, that was due to the wind, but that's neither here nor there. That shit gave you Scott Norwood flashbacks, and it's not even close. Oh, and yeah, like Mr. Collins said, Baltimore, you ran it, what was it, 36?
16 times.
Mm-hmm.
They ran it 16 times, and 6 of those was only 6 by the running backs. So, again, San Francisco, get the running backs involved. That's what they did against the Lions. They're going to do it again this week.
So, obviously, a formula was working when they played the Texans in the divisional round. What the hell happened against Kansas City? The final score is 17-10? Oh, God, no. Look, Lamar, you don't deserve to be on the tier of Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow, and soon to be Justin Herbert, just because they got Jim Harbaugh as their head coach. That MVP is a hollow trophy, and until you get some playoff wins, you're nothing, my guy. Nothing. Now, having said that, San Francisco, this team has been on a tear ever since Brock Purdy took over as the starting quarterback going into this season. They have the weapons there. Granted, they lost 3 in a row when their weapons weren't healthy. We saw that. However, the weapons are healthy. Nick Bosa is going to look to tear some shit up on defense. Don't throw it across the middle unless Fred Warner is standing there. And you got Deebo Samuel, you got Brandon Ayuk, you got Run CMC. So as long as Brock Purdy is doing what he needs to do, granted, I see San Francisco as the underdog just because of the experience between Mahomes, Kelsey, and Reed. Kansas City, it won't be your night come this Sunday. The Niners have the weapons. They have the quarterback. They have the head coach. Andy Reid, Mahomes, Kelsey. As much as I love you, fuck you, Taylor Swift. It's not going to be your night.
So
I
it's
think that's
two
the
versus
deciding
two.
factor, man. Taylor Swift is the
versus two.
deciding factor.
Emily, who wins
Hold on,
the
Mac.
Super Bowl?
Hold on, Mac.
Kenny, Emily, who wins the Super Bowl?
I'm going with the 49ers.
49ers. So it's 3-2, and now it's my turn. I really couldn't agree more with what Colin and James said. There are too many weapons for the Chiefs. Not all stories are fairy tales and have happy endings, and it's not going to happen for Mr. Kelsey and Taylor Swift.
I mean, unless you're the 2007 New York Giants.
Right. But it wasn't
Taylor
a
Swift
fantasy
never has a
season.
happy ending.
Never. Taylor Swift never has a happy
He never gets
ending.
the happy ending. People should know it. It's
And
coming.
she's not
It's
going
coming.
to this time. At the end of the day, football is still a game of X's and O's, and these players are coming out there to play. They do not give a shit about Taylor Swift. They do not give a shit about Travis Kelsey. They give a shit about winning. And while I will give the coaching advantage to Kansas City in this game because I've made no bones about it all year, Andy Reid's one of the greatest coaches of all time, and you cannot argue with that legitimately. With that being said, Shanahan's a pretty damn good coach too. And the weapons that he has, McCafferty, Kittle, Purdy, Debo Samuel, defensive side, Bosa, it's going to be too much. I agree with Colin 100%. I think this is a 6-point game. And I think San Francisco pulls it out in the end. I think the talent is going to overcome what anything Kansas City can do. I love Patrick Mahomes and what he does, but this is not going to be his night. So it's 4-2 on this panel, San Francisco over Kansas City. Mac only chose Kansas City because the Zebras. I just want to point that out. So it's pretty much everybody against the Zebras and Kenny here. Kenny's doesn't even have a face now with his cheap back. I'm so confused what's going on here. But continue on, Kenny. I will let you have your why we're gonna win, even though we're gonna lose rant.
Okay, so before I get to Mr. James, let me address a comment that's been posting up in these chat for the last 3 weeks, and I waited for this show to bust y'all's ass.
Kenny.
To bust y'all's ass. Trent Green.
Colin.
Here we go. I'm fixing to go off. Trent Green. Do you know who he is? All y'all out here talking about I'm a bandwagon fan? No, none of y'all know, because y'all don't know shit about the Chiefs. Trent Green come out this week.
Kenny,
Oh,
you
oh,
gotta use Google this
Frank
week.
Green, Priest Holmes, Dante
Listen,
Hall.
listen, I got his rookie card. I got his
Trent
rookie
Green, hold on,
card.
I'm fixing to go somewhere. Trent Green, ex-Chiefs quarterback, come out this week and said Mahomes shuts that shit down. Now, all y'all talking about I don't know quarterbacks. All y'all talking about I don't know quarterbacks.
When was the last time Trent Green practiced with the Chiefs?
This Don can't give you all that, but let me go to
Kenny was in
this.
prison.
Here's where I'm gonna go.
2004?
Listen, I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but here it goes.
Yes,
There's
you
a
do.
lot of-
God.
Here's a lot of conspiracies this week on why the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. It's 100 miles an hour at 13-hour flight. If you're minus 100, minus 13, you get Travis Kelsey's number of 87. That's what it's going to take Taylor Swift to get to Las Vegas. That's what it's going to take. The private jet she's flying in has to travel at 100 miles an hour for 13 hours to make it to the Super Bowl. You take that, you minus it, you get 87. 49ers, 4 plus 9 equals 13. It's her favorite number. Look, here we go. No,
Did you do this, man?
Okay, wow.
Did you do the math?
Yo, you
Did
really
you
on
do
a
that?
Taylor Swift
This is my
conspiracy
time.
theory rant
This
right
is
now?
my time,
Were
James.
you the
Let me
God.
finish. The second
Didn't you say
conspiracy.
you don't believe in conspiracies? And now
I
you're
did- I
talking about
don't.
conspiracy?
Listen,
Like,
here we go.
what?
Here we go. Here's the one that's gonna bust all of y'all. You can't open up Super Bowl night and have Patrick Mahomes get on the stand and you sit there and the first thing out of his mouth is, I want to
Yes,
give
Chris.
credit. I want to give credit to the 49ers and the, hold on a minute. I hit the wrong button. And the 49ers start booing Patrick Mahomes. He stops in mid-sentence and he says,
Are
this is
you
what
reading this from a script?
No,
he
I've
is.
Listen,
Gotta be.
It looks
I
like
hit
it,
the
yeah.
wrong button.
Listen.
I mean, even if you
it's
look at
live.
that whole
It was
Super Bowl,
live. I was
look at
watching it
Brock
on
Purdy's
NFL
face.
Live.
That man
He-
turned into MJ. He took that shit personally.
He stopped mid-sentence. All right, Andrew, funniness. He stopped mid-sentence and he said, Niner Nation, you better be ready for Sunday. You don't poke the bear and expect there not to be something results for it. You don't
In this
poke
case,
Travis
are
Kelce.
you the bear?
You don't poke Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes and boo them and expect them. Even Travis Kelce said, I love the boos. Bring them. I love them better than I do the cheers. I'm telling y'all, you can't. They're going to be the deciding factor. Now to Mr.
The
James.
deciding factor in that game is going to be a Travis Kelce fumble.
You'll see, sir. I'll see you next week on Villains, Mr. Collin.
So
Hold on. Now to Mr. James. I've been waiting 2 weeks for this. You said the same shit, same bullshit, same dog shit. Everything you just said tonight about 49ers beating the Chiefs, you said the same shit about the Ravens, and what happened? You said the same shit. Come up with something new, bro. Every time you said something about the Chiefs, you fucking failed. And you said the same shit tonight that you said about the Ravens, bro. Come on, man. You really believe that shit?
he's in love with Kenny, Chris.
You really believe that shit? I'm asking, Jason, do you believe it?
Yeah, look
When
at the
you-
weapon. Look at the weapons that the
You
Niners
said
have.
the same thing about the Ravens, bro. Oh, they got the best defense. They got this. We
The
shut
one
that
thing
shit
that
down.
we have learned tonight is that Kenny is in love with
I
Travis
don't think
Kelce.
you shut that
Damn
down.
right I am. I love Travis Kelce. I'm
Damn,
a
so you love
Kelce
Travis
fan.
Kelce more than
He
Taylor
is the
Swift
best.
does?
He is the best
That's a little
tight
sus,
end in
bro.
the league. He is the best tight end in the league. You can't argue that with me.
No.
Two
No,
words.
I
Rob
take Mark Andrews
Gronkowski.
all day. Mark
Man,
Andrews
please.
can block, catch,
Man, please.
run, jump
That's why.
over,
Hold
push the
on.
foul, and
That's why.
run the ball.
That's why Travis Kelce broke Jerry Rice's record, but none of them others have. You want to argue that?
You
Let's
can
go.
you can argue
I mean,
he
no,
can be the
no,
greatest
no.
receiving tight
No,
end,
he
but all
broke
around
Jerry.
tight end.
No other tight end in
No.
history has broke Jerry Rice's record, but
Well,
Travis
a lot
Kelce.
of this about Travis Kelce. I think Taylor Swift better check out her wiring.
Travis Kelce isn't even the best tight end in the Chiefs' history. So
He is the best tight end in the league right now, is what I said. He broke Jerry Rice's record
He's on
last
a
week against
downswing.
Baltimore.
He's on the downswing. He's
Yeah,
he's
believe
still
what
up
you
there.
want.
I wouldn't say he's the top, but
So here's what I gotta
he's
say.
still up there. But he's
Here's
on
my
the
take.
downswing.
The final score of the Super Bowl is 34-21 Kansas City Chiefs.
So
Chris, would you put Rob Gronkowski and Tony Gonzalez above Travis Kelce?
Y'all are full of shit.
So
what disguise are you going to use to get past Taylor Swift's bodyguards?
So let me ask y'all all this.
We're gonna see
Can I
Kenny
ask
get
one
arrested at the Super Bowl. I can't wait.
Andrew,
He's gonna try to
can I ask
Travis
one?
Kelce.
Can I
They gonna get him?
I got
Hey,
one question.
I heard Hunter's going to be
Listen,
there. I'm going to
listen.
make sure he films it.
If Kansas City pulls this shit out, man, then I guess there ain't gonna be no show next week.
Listen, if Kansas
Everybody
City
said,
wins,
fuck Kenny. Fuck it. We just gonna play commercials. We just gonna play commercials.
when Kansas City wins, I'm calling out 4 people right now.
Oh my
James,
God.
Mac, Colin, and Vandy
I
Cliff.
picked Kansas
All
City.
4 of you. Okay.
I picked Kansas City. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'll leave you alone. You're
Kenny,
fine.
are you
I'm
dumb or just plain stupid?
Did you not hear
All
what?
of it. Yeah, you only picked them
Bro,
because
did
they're
you
red.
take,
Like,
did
yeah,
you take
you
your extra
little
stupid
shit.
pills this morning and
James.
forget?
James, you especially, you Colin and Vandy Cliff, next Thursday night on Villains, please show your face. Please show. Yes, I called you out, Vandy. I called you out. Next week on Villains,
I
You
didn't
make
even
a
see
point
him
to
make I haven't seen him make a prediction.
It don't matter. He's over here talking
Well,
shit
no, I
about
was
It
asking.
don't matter. I'm
I was
calling
asking
him
if
out
Travis
anyway.
Kelce and Tony
Don't
Gonzalez
talk
over
shit about
Travis
my
Kelce,
kingdom.
and he agreed.
Don't talk shit about my kingdom.
Oh my God, that is
your,
I will
your
see y'all
kingdom.
next
Your
week.
kingdom. I'm pretty sure the Chiefs belong to Kansas City. I'm pretty sure that's
It's our kingdom, buddy.
okay.
James,
Until I see a paper or document that says you own the Kansas City Chiefs, you
Until
might
I
want
see
to
you on the
might want to put a
sideline,
breath
there's-
in, dude, because I can smell that bullshit from here.
James, let me tell you one other thing.
Mm.
One thing I know about James, he don't answer messenger. I gave him shit, and he knows it. That's why he's laughing. I sent James
He's
a
in
little
the
message after.
military.
I sent James a
When
little
are you
message. After,
messaging him at like 1 in the morning when you're getting up from work? I'm just
no,
curious.
this was like midday. No, I think it was right after Kansas City whooped that ass in Baltimore. I sent him a message and asked him, did he want to eat his own words? I didn't hear
Could
shit
you
from
read
this man.
it?
I didn't hear shit from this man.
Yeah, I think I
Not-
did, but I was too busy enjoying something called life and not being a keyboard warrior.
See, you gotta understand, he's not the Ravens fan. I'm the Ravens fan.
Yeah,
That's
but he
why I
talk-
was like, you
Matt-
sitting here worried about chewing his ass out, and I'm like, he don't got no
Because he
dog in
gives
the
the
fight.
same, Matt, he gives the same excuses every week in and week out about why they're gonna beat Kansas City, and they never do. That's my point to him. He's done been wrong once. He's gonna be wrong again. He gave the same damn excuses, though. The same
I
damn
tell you what.
excuses.
I tell you what. Hey,
He's like,
where them
you
Cowboys been
goddamn
at?
right I
Where them
did.
Cowboys been at?
Hey, the Cowboys.
No,
I love,
all of a sudden
I
we
love-
forget about the
No.
Oh my
Cowboys.
God, the Cowboys are gonna go to the Super Bowl, and
Rewind.
here,
I wish
and
they would
here's
have. Then I
why.
can talk shit all night.
Colin,
James.
let me catch you up to speed. So about 5 weeks ago on this show, Kenny said,
4.
and remember, he don't believe in conspiracy theories. He said, did you see the NFL change the logo of the Super Bowl to red, white, and blue? That's why Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. Knock it down right now. But I don't believe in conspiracy theories.
James,
They're
how
going to
about
the
this?
Super Bowl.
James, I don't even want you on this show.
Mm.
If Kansas City wins the Super Bowl, you let me on No Mercy and we discuss it on
So,
No Mercy.
no. We're not deflecting what you said, Mister. I don't believe in conspiracy theories.
I
but the
don't.
red, white, and blue on the Super Bowl logo says the Cowboys are going. And then
Hey.
you made a threat
And then
at
it's
James at his
Only
own
jumps
show.
from one bandwagon to the other.
Right. And then you made a threat at James about his own show. You said, when the Cowboys show up in the Super Bowl, I'm coming on your show, James, and No Mercy Sports, and we're going to talk about it.
I mean,
When
I mean,
Kansas City,
you can come on when the Cowboys win the Cancun Bowl, but
when the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, I'm coming on too. I just want to know what your outtake is.
Oh, so now you're on the Chiefs bandwagon. So you went from Dallas.
I've been
to
a
the
Chiefs fan. I've been a Chiefs fan. I've been repping this all year, buddy. I even you
yeah,
can go
I bet
back
you
and
have.
Hold
I
on.
bet
They're
you
supposed me to
have.
put this back
Oh,
up.
you want to
Bet
see
you
something?
have.
Super
So
Bowl
look,
last
Kenny,
year,
just
baby.
to let you know, there on No Mercy, there's no rules.
There
That's
is
fine.
rules, no guidelines.
No,
Yeah,
That's fine.
absolutely
That's
not.
So-
fine.
No rules.
You remember, nothing's off limits over there.
No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
a different world over there.
It really
Let's
I
go.
is.
love
Hey,
going
James.
on that show.
I'll take James on when Kansas City wins the Super Bowl because he ain't gonna have shit to say.
So
I
I,
mean-
think I filled you in, James, but I'll bring Mac up to speed. So earlier this year, Kenny said that Auburn was going to be Alabama, Georgia, and Texas A&M. He was going to whoop that ass, right? So he was on there talking shit to us in the group chats. Watch Auburn fuck them up. So Texas A&M beats Auburn, right?
Yeah,
But
And then all of a sudden, Kenny's whole social media goes dark for
disappears.
2 weeks. Just
Disappears.
disappears. Can't talk to the guy. He ain't gonna listen to nothing you have to say. Like gone. And he still ain't back. This is the backup account. He's still on it. He's still mad about that Texas A&M loss. He won't even bring the original one back.
Hey, everything that Kenny just
you
said,
funny, Emily. You funny, Emily.
Okay.
everything to
And she
everything
knows
that
what I'm
Kenny just
talking
said,
about.
to everything this man just said.
Oh my
Okay.
God. It is a fact, y'all. Colin,
Okay.
did it or did it not happen?
Oh, it definitely happened. Literally 5 minutes before the game even ended. I mean, everything just gone from everything.
Just went dark, y'all. And we're not gonna
Bravo
let Kenny
6
live that
going
one
dark.
down. That's right.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. Flip the
It
switch
was.
and everything just gone.
Yeah, Kenny, you're
Hey,
not
Kenny?
living that one down.
Kenny, this is a wellness check. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm reading. I got somebody on this in this group right here that's sending me crazy messages,
It's
and
probably
she
Vandy,
knows.
Chris.
No. She knows what she's doing. She's got me laughing, talking about some 13. I'm gonna leave that alone, Miss Emily, and Taylor Swift and 13. Oh, you want me to go get the comment? You want me to go get the comment?
It took
Oh,
you
yeah.
that long to read it?
So
Yeah, I just
He's
seen it.
good
Like,
as
I
fuck.
just seen it because I was talking.
You seen him sounding out the comments earlier. Just give him a second. Yeah, that was 37 minutes ago, but we
Look.
just got caught up.
Here's all I gotta say.
So here's the
what I gotta
crazy
say.
thing. So one year that the Niners won the Super Bowl, 1989. What was that one album by that blonde broad that can't find a good man?
Which one?
Good question.
So let me ask you this.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not too sure, but I think Taylor Swift also had an album called 1989.
She did.
Mm. Yeah.
Let me
Just
ask you. You want to talk about that? The last time the 49ers won the Super Bowl,
It was like 1994.
it was like before you, like, I don't know, about the time you were born or something, you know?
No, I was born in 1990. Get your shit
Oh,
right.
okay.
dipshit.
I said about the time. About the time.
About the
So-
time. Yep. About.
But the last time the 49ers
So
went to
I
the
told
Super
you
Bowl,
to
what
sit on the
happened?
toilet for about some time, and that about some time was 4 years. That's some time.
I mean, you can say what you want. I get it. February 11th plus 2 is 13, her favorite number. Yeah, 13-hour flight. It's all playing into conspiracy theories. But I will tell you this: all this crap this week about the NFL is scripted is bullshit.
Mm.
I think it's bullshit, but
Well, I mean, obviously it's bullshit because the fucking Super Bowl logo that was supposed to be Ravens 49ers, that shit got debunked. Clearly,
And then-
because we're seeing Chiefs 49ers.
Yeah, but then what they're talking about now is about it being rigged of the Kansas City Chiefs
So, Kenny,
Baltimore
hold
game.
on.
They're saying that
I
the
would-
kick.
Kenny, at this time,
What?
I would like to bring to the stage someone that can corroborate Colin and mine's story. Everybody, welcome Vandy Chris to the show.
Yeah. Who you picking, buddy? Chiefs or 49ers right now?
I done told you last week I'm picking the 49ers.
Oh,
Make sure you. Hey, listen. All I gotta say for the
So,
rest of this show.
Wait a minute, Kenny. I've listened to you for an hour.
I don't give a damn. You listen to me some more. You make
So-
sure you're on villains next week, buddy.
Don't pop
Don't
up my
worry.
Bible, Kenny.
Despite the shenanigans of the NFL, I'm taking the 49ers. Now, Kenny, explain to me why in the hell are the Chiefs practicing in their rival's facility while the 49ers have been sent to a college football stadium that does not meet NFL standards?
I ain't have nothing to do with that. Hey, look, from what I understand, it has something to do with the
I
Raiders.
ain't got nothing to do with that.
It has something to do with the Raiders. It has
It
something
has
to do with the Raiders.
the Raiders, huh? Okay.
That's
okay.
that's what I'm gathering.
Chiefs fake ass fandom. Wow.
To corroborate Colin and Andrew, Auburn's going to beat Georgia. They're going to give them their first loss. And you disappeared. You disappeared.
Hold on.
dude, for a
Hold on.
week.
You want to talk about something? You also the one that said that Vanderbilt beats Auburn's ass this year in football, and I don't think that
I
happened.
admit when I'm wrong.
Why are you changing the subject?
I admit
Why
when
are you
I'm
changing
wrong.
the subject, Kenny?
Yeah, why are you changing the subject, Skip
I don't
Bayless?
know.
We're talking
My
about
question is,
you
Why did
leave
you
in
bring on a
chat.
Vandy fan? Why did you bring
Hey.
on a Vandy fan that ain't been relevant for 100 years?
Homie, you're sounding like Skip Bayless right now, and it's not a good look
mean,
for you.
James, I ain't
just
worried
a-
about you.
Right.
I'll see you on No Mercy next Friday.
We
Because I'm
were,
off
we were
work.
just in an NCAA tournament in
You have to
2016.
be invited first.
No, he done said it's game time. If Chiefs
But
win the
you-
Super Bowl, I'm
but
on
this
No
doesn't-
Mercy.
This I didn't hear that, but if y'all made that, cool. But with that being said, we just want to go back to how Kenny disappeared on us.
He did.
I just want to go ahead and bring that up. For a week, he was dark. Mac, let me tell you, fuck y'all. Y'all know what the fuck you talking about. We Auburn, we're bringing it back old school style, baby. Running,
you're
baby.
that
We going,
fan, huh?
yeah, man.
Hey,
you know what? Hey, Colin, do we have that soundbite? Kenny did just
don't forget, Andrew. After the Iron Bowl, everybody got weird Facebook friend requests from James Ingram, and Kenny was disappeared for 2 days.
I didn't disappear at all. I took that shit. We should have won the Iron Bowl 4th and 30.
Who's James Ingram, the Auburn fan?
I don't mean me. That's probably some crap you created, old man.
We know who it was.
We know I'm a new person. I'm a new man.
Look, the one thing I know about Chris, though.
Here we go, y'all. Hold on.
He ain't picked shit right all year.
Okay, who we played? We're fixing to take over the SEC. Rushing, baby. We bringing it back old school style. Y'all just mad because I was right and y'all were wrong.
And then he disappeared.
Okay, who we played? We're fixing to take over the SEC. Rushing, baby.
The sound buddy.
Oh, God, dude, you sound like Skip Bayless talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Chris, go fuck yourself. Chris, go fuck yourself.
I got a bunch of takes. Hey, so James, I love how all of y'all accept Mac. Mac took the Super Bowl, took the Chiefs because of the refs, which I give him. Okay, that's his opinion. But the rest of y'all on this panel, minus Emily, because I don't really mess with Emily too much. The rest of y'all,
about full of shit.
I'll say this: when the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, how many of y'all honestly will be on Villains next Thursday night?
I'm going to be on because it's the day before college baseball kicks off.
Say that again. Hold on. I want everybody live to hear this. Chris, yes or no? Will you be on Villains next week?
I don't care if the Chiefs win or not. I will be on Villains next week because it's the day before college baseball kicks off.
And Vanderbilt loses their first game.
How much you want to put on that?
I knew I could get it. Who do y'all play first, Chris? I ain't even looked at it yet.
I don't even know. We ain't losing our first one.
Hold on, let me go look this up. Hold on.
I'll take a Chris Fundo off of you.
So
Vanderbilt's opening baseball.
We'll double it if Auburn ever gets back in.
Auburn's got to get a seat at the table first.
That's what I'm saying.
They didn't kick their AD off the committee. They're tired of Auburn getting in with a 14-16 SEC record.
Yeah, they.
Oh no, y'all will win your first. Y'all will win your first when you're playing a. Never mind. I ain't even gonna say that live.
A college team?
Who's Auburn playing?
I mean, it's a lot better than this team. I mean, a high school team could probably beat Florida Atlantic.
Florida Atlantic, right?
Yeah, they play in Boca Raton.
Now, I will tell you this.
Can you spell Boca Raton?
Fuck that.
Do you know where Boca Raton is?
Fuck no.
Dude, when you
On
go
March
low, we go
2nd,
lower.
on March 2nd, I will make a bet with Chris. They lose. Now.
They lose.
And that's not an SEC team. It's not
Are you
an
going to tell
SEC.
who it is, or are we
It's
just going to
Houston.
blindly put
Houston gonna beat the shit
Houston
out of Vanderbilt. Watch what I
Houston
tell you.
baseball.
in baseball?
Houston, Texas, gonna beat them. Watch, I'm gonna tell y'all. Auburn might beat them. Auburn might win the
Are they
series.
playing basketball?
Auburn's
might
going
win
to
the
beat
series.
Vanderbilt in the series in
They'll
baseball?
win the series. I said they'll win the series.
Fucking basketball. Wow.
Auburn
my
will win
God.
the series against Vanderbilt.
Auburn,
bet that.
hold up, Chris.
Didn't you see that
I
nice
know you
chart they
just
made
said
last
Auburn
week?
was going to beat
Washington.
Vanderbilt in baseball. Take the series.
I said win the series. I said win the series.
And that's exactly what I just said.
And it's in Vanderbilt. Let's bet that, Chris.
So
What
can
are
you
you
go
talking
dark
about?
again and then show up
Auburn,
with a new
Auburn, and
personality?
Vanderbilt and
It's
baseball.
Derek Ingram
March
next.
15th, 16th, and 17th. I got Auburn to win the series in your home. In your
You're
stadium.
not winning. You're not winning the series in Nashville.
Okay.
No.
Okay, y'all will see.
Why do you
South
come up with
Carolina
these
might be,
ridiculous
y'all.
bets, Kenny? Like,
South Carolina might be, y'all.
South Carolina lost 2 out of 3 to Vanderbilt last year.
That was last year. That's not this year.
Kenny, all right, so look, y'all, Marshall is playing Michigan next year, right? And Kenny's like, I'm telling you, Marshall's got it. They're going to walk into
Hold on.
Michigan,
Hold
and they're
on.
going to beat them by 30. I'm telling you
Listen,
now.
listen,
Like, what are you
that-
talking
listen,
about?
listen,
What?
y'all.
They
There's
gonna get the
always
shit kicked out of them by 30.
Yes.
Look, there's
So-
gonna be. It didn't happen this year in football, so next year, so y'all know, history says that some crazy team like App State, Marshall beats somebody they're not supposed to, like Michigan, Texas A&M. Just so y'all know.
So, how many teams do you
Watch what
guys
you
think the SEC is going to get in the college football playoff next year?
Because that's total makes sense. Like
4.
that totally lets me know what superstar on the team is going to help carry one of those teams to do that. It's
Right.
just because statistics say it's bound to happen. So, one of 150 teams are just going to make that promising season. Like,
So
You're a
just to
fortune teller,
clarify
bro.
something, that Kenny
I
said.
said 4-2, GQ. I said 4-2.
Yeah.
Chris, how
So-
many did they get in?
This is
So,
a hell of a Brady
lem-
Bunch square picture.
So let me clarify something you said first. Auburn plays Eastern Kentucky to start the season.
We'll
Eastern
win.
Kentucky went 29-30 last year. Vanderbilt's playing Florida Atlantic, who went 34-25 and was in the NCAA tournament last year. Back the truck up when you're saying Eastern Kentucky is better than Florida Atlantic. Know what you're talking about.
Get out of last year. We talking
So-
this year.
Hold on. I have a question
Florida
because I
Atlantic
want to
will
bring
win their
Mac up to
conference.
speed on this. Colin, how many teams does the SEC get in the playoffs next year?
I mean, I would have to say probably 4. That's if I had to guess, I'd probably put like an over/under number. I'd put that line right at 4.
You think the SEC team will get 4? So do you think SEC will get 4 in next year, Chris?
I think maybe 3 possibly. I mean, you got to figure Ole Miss. They've got a really good chance. You got to think Georgia.
Revenge tour.
100% probably win it all. My early pick.
It's possible that Missouri can make a run.
LSU.
LSU.
I think LSU falls off with losing what they're losing. I think they're going to fall off quite a bit. But
Yeah.
I think 3 is a solid number for the SEC.
So I say week three games, right? Because I agree. I think 3, possibly 4, depending. So Kenny has already made a bet with everybody that I know. I don't know who.
Of
That
course,
Auburn will make the playoffs next year.
Not a chance.
I want to start with you, Mac. Does Auburn make the playoffs if the SEC gets 3 teams in out of the whole SEC? Keep in mind that Oklahoma and Texas is in the SEC next year too.
Are we
Does
talking
Auburn?
football?
Yes. Does Auburn
Yes.
take one of the top 3 spots?
Not a
No.
chance Auburn gets in.
I watch
Auburn's a
that
10-win
much of
team.
college football, and I can tell you it ain't happening.
How about this?
Not
How about
with
this?
Peyton Thorne.
How about this? It's not Peyton Thorne, but anyway, literally, if you watch the news, you would know. So just shut the hell up about Auburn. But anyway, I will tell you this right now: if Auburn wins 10 games next year, with the way that the SEC is set up going into next year, there's no East or West. We win 10 games. We win 10 or more games. We will make the playoffs on the simple strength, on the simple fact
Colin,
of strength of schedule.
does Auburn make the college football playoff next year?
Just a quick glance at their schedule, I'd probably say they're going to win like 7-8 games.
9
So-
tops.
Hold on.
That's
I'm going to get
there's-
some
yeah,
backup.
there's no. I don't see them making the playoffs.
James,
I'm going to get some backup. I'm
does
tired of
Auburn
y'all
make the
tackling me.
playoffs next year?
Fuck no. They'll
Where's
at
my
least
buddy?
consider
Did Auburn
themselves
make the
lucky that they
playoffs?
get a New Year's Six bowl.
Correct. Emily,
Yes.
does Auburn make the playoffs next year?
Fuck no.
So I'm
Hey,
actually
y'all
going
hold
to have
up
a
a
little
minute.
bit of fun.
I'm bringing
Hold on,
back
Kenny.
up.
Chris is talking. Let it
I'm
finish.
actually going to have a little bit of fun because in order to make the playoffs, you're going to have to beat Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt is now New Mexico State East because we brought all of their players and all of their coaches, and they just
Shut
kicked
the
your
fuck
ass in
up
your own
about
house.
Vanderbilt. Y'all are fucking relevant.
Hey, didn't New Mexico State beat Auburn, if I'm not mistaken?
Yep, and we
Correct.
brought in all of their players and coaches.
including the
Crazy.
quarterback.
Crazy how that works, dumbass.
Y'all didn't bring in. You brung in their quarterback and one of their coaches. Here's the problem, Chris.
We
Hey,
brought in
You
four of
got
their
the
final
coaches.
score of
driver
that
to
game,
the
what was that? I
park.
believe 31-13.
We brought in 4 of their
You-
coaches and 5 of their players.
Chris, you got to come to the fucking jungle and name me the last time y'all beaten Auburn in the jungle, please. I don't even think you was fucking alive.
Okay.
Since when did Auburn move to LSU?
Right.
It's the jungle. We've always been called the jungle.
Mm.
We own
So
that
here's,
shit.
like I said, we brought in all of New Mexico State's players and coaches, and they just handled business in your house. I have no reason to think that they won't handle business against you again.
Chris, answer my question. Quit avoiding the fucking question. When was the last time Vanderbilt beat Auburn in Auburn?
It's not relative.
No. It is fucking goddamn relative.
It
Answer
isn't
the question.
relative.
It's
Answer the
not
question.
relevant. Hold on. This discussion was about Auburn making the playoffs next year. So Vanderbilt is irrelevant in this conversation.
Yes.
He is right.
I'm just saying that in order to make the playoffs,
Brown's
they're going
the
to have to
quarterback.
beat Vanderbilt, and with us bringing
JQ,
in all of the
Hank
New
Brown's the
Mexico State's
quarterback.
players, they're not beating Vanderbilt.
Okay, Chris, I'm going to tell you this now. And I love you as a friend, and I love you as a person. And Colin is my witness. And Hunter is my witness that's listening. When not only when Auburn beats the shit out of Vanderbilt again next year, but also, listen, I said also, and I have other witnesses here. When Auburn makes the college football playoffs next year, the 12-team playoffs, I'm going to roast your ass so bad that you will probably never talk to me again.
And when they don't make the playoffs, I'm going to roast you.
Y'all heard it. We get to have a roast battle. Y'all heard it.
Like to see you
Kenny, the wheel is spinning, but the hamster's dead.
Listen, I'm gonna laugh my ass off next year when Auburn. Again, I just looked at their schedule. They're probably gonna start 4-0, and Kenny's gonna go off, and then they go through a stretch of Oklahoma.
Hold on, let me go pull it. We're gonna beat Oklahoma. Let's
Missouri.
talk about Oklahoma.
Bro, you got the way you're speaking right now, you got 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place.
Damn.
Let's let Colin finish his thought here, Kenny.
Again, they're probably going to go 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got Oklahoma, Georgia, Missouri, Kentucky.
Possible
Then
win.
they play an improved Vanderbilt team. I'll give them Louisiana Monroe. Then they play Texas A&M and Alabama.
They ain't going to no playoffs.
They're gonna start 4-0, and Kenny's gonna go. We're going to the playoff. We're going to the playoff, and then they're gonna take 4 L's in a row, and he's gonna disappear from social media again
for a month. Yo, Kenny's on mute. Just ranting.
He's on mute.
I love it.
And he's fucking ranting.
Listen, one, you're full of shit because Oklahoma's going to get their ass dragged in Jordan Hare. We will lose to Georgia. I said that earlier. That's one of my losses for Auburn next year. We will beat Missouri. We are that's one of the teams that doesn't do very well. We're damn sure going to beat Kentucky. We're damn sure going to beat Vanderbilt. We'll beat UL Monroe. A&M and Auburn will beat them because they're just and then we play Alabama, and you don't never know what the fuck's going to happen there.
You said you were going to beat A&M this year too.
Yeah, crazy.
Chris, when I'll make a deal with you. I'll make a deal. If Vanderbilt wins 3 games next year, I will personally drive to Nashville, and I will take you to any Vanderbilt game they have that you ever want, and I will buy the tickets if y'all win 3 games next year.
So you're going to take him on a date?
So look, man, you going to a game, man.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt football ain't winning 3 games.
They're going to get 3 games next year.
Kenny, wisdom has always been trying to chase you, but you've been faster.
I'm very I'm very
Hold on.
confident that Vanderbilt will win 3. They might get a 4th, but beyond that, I have no expectation.
Okay, so let's run through the schedule since you said that. Virginia Tech loss. You'll beat Alcorn State maybe. Georgia
It is
State.
romantic, Cody.
Georgia State, you'll lose.
You got the Kansas City Chiefs logo and the Vanderbilt logo kind of going on a date together.
We're beating Georgia State.
Okay, that's 2. You lose to Missouri, you lose to Alabama, you lose to Kentucky. You're going to get your ass slumped by Ball State. You're going to lose to one of them because y'all just
Ball
sucking.
State.
You
Bro,
lose-
I'm not saying you're
y'all fucking
stupid.
suck.
You just have bad luck when it comes to thinking.
Look, you might win 3 games next year, but you're not beating Virginia Tech, you're not beating Missouri, you're not beating Alabama, you're not beating Kentucky, Texas, Auburn, South Carolina, LSU, or Tennessee.
Did you even listen to what I said?
What?
They'll
You
hit,
might win
they'll
3.
hit 3 wins.
What?
I said
I don't
we're
think they
gonna
do.
get.
I think
We
they
get
lose to
3
Georgia
wins.
State.
We get 3 wins.
Okay.
We might get a 4.
I say you don't. I say you win 2. I say you
But
lose to
beyond
Georgia
that,
State
I
and
have no
Georgia State.
expectations. I'm a realist.
So
glad.
what he said, Chris,
we have
was
no
if
Jimmys
y'all
and
win
Joes.
3 games,
Hey,
he's gonna
look,
take
let's
you
be
on a
honest.
date.
The only real player that came out of
And it's
Vanderbilt was
guaranteed at
smoking
least
Jay
3
Cutler.
games.
Oh, that's the truth. Anyway, Chris.
I don't know. You're
Chris, you want to take?
you're forgetting Casey Hayward, who was one of the best defensive backs in the leagues for a while.
Ooh.
Chris, I'm
You're
asking you a
forget-
question, and don't quit
you're
avoiding my
forgetting-
question.
You're forgetting Jordan Matthews, who, when he came out of Vanderbilt, was the all-time leading receiver in the SEC history.
Okay.
He kind of fizzled out.
You're
in the
forgetting
NFL.
you're forgetting Earl Bennett, who, when he came out, was the leading receiver in SEC history and played for the Bears for several years. I mean, you're forgetting a lot of players.
Chris,
Hey, look, I'm a 90s baby. The only player that I
Yeah.
actually remember was Smoking Jay, and that was it.
Yeah, yeah.
so is this a
They
deal
cut-
live on Villains?
What?
What
If
kind of
y'all
deal are
don't
you
win
making?
3, listen. Here's the deal I'm proposing to Chris. Y'all win 3 games. I come to Nashville. I'll take you to any. You can get it. Don't matter
I get
what
in-
Vanderbilt,
I
basketball,
get into
football.
Vanderbilt games free anyway.
Shut up and let me finish.
He
Damn
sounds
it,
like
man.
Ross
Well, if you
Perot
take
to
him
me.
out on a date,
let me
go to
finish.
dinner,
I
movie.
come up there and I buy the ticket and take you. But if y'all don't win 3 games, you bring your ass to Tuscaloosa during the Iron
I've been
Bowl
to
next year.
Tuscaloosa.
And no, Lee, you shut up and listen and finish.
You
You
have to
bring
be with
your.
Kenny.
Well, we will know
Sound like you getting
by
a
the
shitty
Iron Bowl
lipstick.
in November next year.
Chris
By
said,
the
no,
Iron Bowl,
thank
if y'all
you.
don't have 3 wins.
No.
Okay, if y'all don't have 3 wins there, you bring your ass to the Iron Bowl with me, Big Ten backers. You, I'm gonna try
Why
to talk
would-
Andrew into coming, and you
Why would
sit
I
there
go
in the
to a
Iron
game
Bowl
that I have no interest in?
because I want to make this deal. I want you to suffer through the fucking Iron Bowl one
Because he
time
wants you to.
He
Apparently.
wants you to suffer through one of the greatest college football rivalries, Chris. It's
because
going to
he
be hell
hates
for
both
you.
of them.
What the fuck
He
are you
hates both.
talking about?
He hates both of them, so I want him to suffer. Is this a deal, Chris?
I don't hate
Live on-
either one of them. I
I
just don't
hope
care
my
about them.
punishment one day is going to a San Francisco New Orleans game just because I hate them. That would be awful if somebody punished me. Like, what are you talking about?
Andrew,
I've been to a Saints and 49ers game.
That
Oh
would be
man, I'm
great.
jealous. I've been
I
to
re-
a
I re-
Falcons
I remember-
49ers game.
I remember Joe Montana getting up with a grapefruit on his elbow because Patrick Swilling hit him so hard.
I just remember Joe Montana beating the hell out of my Falcons my whole childhood 2 times a year and making me cry. Fuck Joe Montana. But
I agree. I agree.
As a Ravens fan, dude, I would Steelers Browns game. I'd love to go. Hate both of them. Still love to go. It's a fucking game. Who
it's
wouldn't
one of
wanna
the
go to
greatest
a game?
rivalries in
Football
NFL.
game.
Yeah.
Browns and Steelers would be a fun game to go to. They hate each other.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they hit each other over the head with helmets. I mean, just
I
ask
mean,
the
everybody in the
freaking quarterback.
AFC North hates each other.
They
yes,
do.
Yes, we do.
I'll
Yes, we
I'll
do.
make a prediction real quick. Team to watch in the AFC next year: the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got a great offensive coordinator. He's got a lot of weapons that he can use. Look out for the Steelers next year.
Okay,
Better
look,
look out for the
Arthur
Chargers.
Smith couldn't pour water out of a boot if the instructions were on the heel.
You're
He
forgetting that
couldn't
he.
do a damn thing in Atlanta with the weapons that they had.
Okay, that was as a head coach, as an
As
offensive
Desmond Ritter is my
coordinator
quarterback,
in
I'm gonna hide
Nashville.
on
He
that
put
thing.
up 35 points a game for 2 years.
I mean, look, they had the talent. They somewhat had the quarterback. I mean, I trust Taylor Heineke more than I do Desmond Ritter. I'm not going to lie about that.
Yes, yes. He's the one controlling the game. And we let him
But-
start.
It's different being a coordinator than it is a head coach.
It really is. But at the same time, the man really said that he thought the Falcons should have been in the playoffs with a 7-10 record.
I mean, you
Right.
know, Joe Flacco just sitting out there, and we went with Desmond Ritter. That's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like we could have brought John Elway out of retirement to do better than
I just
Desmond
think
Ritter.
Arthur
He's
Smith
112.
with his
You could have
play
brought
calling
back Tony
ability.
Romo. He would have been better.
Yes.
Yeah. I think with his play calling ability and the weapons that he has in Pittsburgh with Pickett and the running game, I think that's a dangerous team next year.
The problem is they need a quarterback. They need an actual quarterback.
They're going to get one in this
That's the
draft.
problem. Just don't get me wrong. Mason Rudolph can step in. He had a couple good games at the end of the year. I will 100% give him that. But when you're talking about you're gonna play a full season in the AFC North, I don't care what anybody says. It's the toughest division in the NFL. And for me, it's bro. You're gonna have to bring your lunch pail every single game. You're gonna have to play every single game in the AFC North. I mean, how many divisions? I mean, in the last 10 years, have had multiple times where 3 teams from one division make the playoffs.
Well, I think Mike Tomlin's a fantastic coach, and I'm not going to disagree with what he said. I
wish somebody would trade for Hardball. Man, please somebody trade for Hardball. You mean a second round pick? You can have him. You can have him because, bro,
I tell you what,
run the fucking ball.
So talking about that,
we'll trade you Home Depot for Lamar Jackson, and you can throw in Harbaugh with it.
No. See, what you got to bring Lamar Jackson into it for?
Because that's the only thing we want out of Baltimore.
Enjoy that hollow.
That's why we're going to give you Home
trophy,
Depot.
Lamar.
So I got a question for Colin because I seen this earlier today, and now we're
everybody,
talking.
I want to stop Kenny real quick. Emily, I know you got to go. Thank you for being here, honey. I love you, and we will see you next week on Villains.
Okay.
All right,
Colin,
continue on.
I want your analytics view because I seen a mock draft put out today.
Okay.
And it had Caleb Williams going to the Washington Redskins, Washington Commanders, whatever you want to call them. Okay. Yeah. My personal opinion, I want to know what your opinion is on that. Why would you give up? Why would you not take him number 1 with the Bears? Because clearly.
Because he doesn't want to go.
Because the Chicago Bears are the reason that we have warning labels.
I was going to say he's made it known he doesn't want to go there.
Yeah.
Again,
but can he deny?
Opinion, he can't just say he can say I'm not going to play for them, but he's not going to
sign the contract.
He's not. Yeah, he's not. He can just not sign the contract.
Correct.
That's fine. But the issue is, again, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, it sounds like either the Bears aren't going to take him, or there's already been talks of a trade between the Commanders and the Bears, flipping that into 1-2. And the reason that rumor has started is because of Cliff Kingsbury, who was just hired by the Washington Commanders. That's why you're going to start seeing, Caleb Williams to the Washington Commanders, because Cliff Kingsbury was his quarterback coach this last year at USC. So that's what you're going to start seeing. And again, that makes sense in my opinion. When you look at some of these, mock draft stuff, you'll see them. A lot of the guys will put, a lot of guys don't try to predict trades. So you'll end up seeing Caleb Williams go number 1 in a lot of these mock drafts. So they think, the Bears, it's smart for them. Really what they're doing is they're saying, hey, he's going to go number 1. It may not be to the Bears, but somebody's going to trade up for him and take him number 1. If the Bears really can't find some sort of trade partner, they'll probably take somebody else. I don't see them
Harrison
taking
Jr. Compliment DJ Moore.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, they'll take someone else, but I 100% agree. They're going to trade. The Commanders want him badly, and they need him, to be honest. So they will figure out a way to make that move. And the Bears wouldn't drop that much either. I mean, what is the Commanders pick? 5?
It's 2. That's what I'm saying. It would be a 1-2 swap. Yeah, it would just be a 1-2 swap.
If the Redskins was smart, they wouldn't move a fucking thing. They wouldn't trade nothing.
Nope.
And I'd play chicken. I would 100 with the number 2 pick.
Unless another team makes the trade.
He don't want to go to you. He don't want to go to you. I'm gonna pick him, so you can pick him, and I promise you, I'll give you a second round pick for him when you're ready to trade him. When you're ready to sign him,
you got arguably the best wide receiver in the draft right now. That is look, it would be smart for the Bears to build around Justin Fields. Yes, they haven't had good seasons with him under center, but the Bears have been so
Or good
dysfunctional
offensive
ever since Jay
lines, right.
Cutler left. It has been, oh, we got a new quarterback. Oh, we're going to get rid of our coaching staff because he couldn't deliver. Like, the Bears' best chance to win something was in 2018, and that window got shut down immediately. So what happened? Oh, well, you
I'm
know
getting
what?
into
We're
that
going to get
too.
rid of Mitch Trubisky, and we're going to draft up to get Justin Fields. Oh, well, we're also going to get rid of our head coaching staff too because we didn't do anything with Justin Fields. Now we're going to bring in this guy. Oh, we only got this many wins. Now it's like,
Where does
the
it
Bears
end?
are so dysfunctional. They are so far behind. They think they're in first.
Okay.
So, Kyle, and correct me if I'm wrong. I've seen in the past where Team A will take somebody, and then Team B will take somebody, and then they'll turn around and trade those two players, and maybe throw in a little compensation to go with it, like a 7th-round pick or something. I've seen that happen before. I think that's what happens in this draft.
And that's happened before. In my opinion, that ends up being rare. That's a rare occasion. Again, I don't like to predict that because, again, it could happen. But to be honest, the trade compensation you can get is a lot higher if you just trade out of the pick, right? Instead of trying to pick somebody and then find a trade partner. Because, again, you trade out of the pick, then they can come up and you can get somebody else that you want.
I don't know.
And
I don't
especially
know
going back with
I think Kirk Cousins re-signs Jacques Cousteau.
But it's the Broncos piece that really intrigues me. Could you imagine Caleb Williams going to play with Sean Payton? I mean, that would be dangerous.
So let's talk about the Broncos. Let's talk about the Broncos because John Elway come out and said that he is deliberately trying to trade with the Vikings to go after Bo Nix. Why?
Shut up. All right, so what
it's true. It's fact.
So,
bro, somewhere a village is missing their idiot.
I'm just saying.
So,
Bo Nix will be there when they pick. Go ahead, Chris.
If you're one of the teams that's drafting ahead of the Titans, do you go after Brock Bowers after what he came out and said yesterday?
Oh,
I didn't hear what he said.
I mean, that's a tough one.
He was asked point blank,
yeah.
who does he want to play for, and he said in no uncertain terms, the Titans.
Everybody can have their own favorite team, but yeah,
right.
I mean,
Everybody has a team that they
want
to go play for.
Off.
Right.
So if you're one of the teams drafting ahead of the Titans, do you make a play and go get Brock Bowers and try and force the Titans in?
Well, it depends.
What
Again,
are they going to give you?
Exactly. What are they going to give you? Who are you going to go up again? If you're going to go up and get Brock Bowers, how much is that going to cost you? Again, you got to look at the cost there. Again, in my opinion, I'm not a fan of trading up and trading away first-round picks, second-round picks. Again, your team is made in those first 4 rounds, right? And so, again, when you're trading those picks away, you're losing out on your future. That's all all that you're doing. Yeah. So, in my opinion, again, trading up to go get those guys, somebody like Brock Bowers, especially tight end. I mean, when you see a tight end go top 10, it's like
it's rare.
There's some question marks there, and even Brock Bowers. I mean, Brock Bowers is a great guy. I still don't know if I'd take him top 10.
Yeah, I would.
And so, again, if the Titans want to take him, I'll let him. I'll let him take him. You're going to take your pick and spend it on a tight end. Go ahead. I'll let you make that mistake. Again, if you hit on him, great for you. You made a great decision, but I'm not willing to take that risk.
Yeah. I think the Titans need to go offensive line myself.
Especially with the fact that Derrick Henry is basically gone.
Right.
Yes. So before George starts messaging me and asking me why I went over my 2-hour limit, I want to ask everybody final thoughts and also one question with your final thoughts. We'll start with Kenny. Who is the first quarterback drafted next year? Go, Kenny.
Caleb Williams.
Next year?
This draft coming up, right?
Yes, this one right here.
Caleb Williams is the number 1 quarterback overall. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts, quickly.
Chief Kingdom, baby. We'll win the Super Bowl Sunday night. I'll see all y'all Thursday.
All right. Colin, same two questions. Well, one's a question, one's a comment.
First quarterback draft is going to be Caleb Williams. Best quarterback to come out of the draft is going to be Drake May. And, final thoughts for me, again, when I'm looking at quarterbacks, not always the best athlete. People, especially evaluators, casual fans, they mix those two up way too often. Best athlete does not always mean best quarterback.
All right, Chris.
So first quarterback, I think it's going to be Caleb Williams going at number 2. Final thoughts. Titans need to go offensive line. Niners win the Super Bowl. And CMC's little brother will be a Titan.
Could be. James, final thoughts.
So first quarterback taken, obviously Caleb Williams. I mean, like I said, if the Bears are smart, they will use that first draft pick to build around Justin Fields. They have the Redskins have the second pick, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And if the Redskins are smart, they will use that pick to get Caleb Williams. Final thoughts. Niners winning the Super Bowl, but unfortunately, I got to disagree with that Drake May comment. This dude was supposed to go into the season as a Heisman candidate, and North Carolina barely got a winning season by the skin of their teeth.
That was a good one. Matt, final thoughts and first QB drafted. I mean, well, I think we're all in agreement. It's Caleb Williams. But.
So no. I'm going Penix Jr.
Yep.
Number 1 overall. To the Browns. All right, that's my sneaky pick. I think they're going to go Penix. I think they're going to sell Fields to the highest bidder. And final thoughts is refs win the Super Bowl. Let's go.
I'm not sure how the Browns could afford Michael Penix after all that stupid money they threw at Deshaun Watson. But
worst trade in modern NFL history.
No. Bears are going to take him number 1 overall.
Bears. Oh, you said Brown. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was confused. He said Browns. I'm like, where did the Browns come in this if the Bears are selling?
Yes. If the Bears don't stick with Justin Fields, I think they've lost their mind. But Caleb Williams gets chosen first. Final thoughts. San Francisco wins the Super Bowl. I want to thank you all for being here. I think San Francisco wins by 6. It was a very fun show. Next week, we will be previewing a lot of college baseball as it starts the day after my show. I'm so excited about it. We will recap the Super Bowl. And if Colin, if you want to come back and recap the Super Bowl, man, that would be great. And I know you might have your show next Thursday.
I was going to say, it depends on if we have our show. Yeah.
Right. Well, I appreciate it. Everybody, remember, God is love, John 3:16.
College Football Dogs. By the fans, for the fans.